What is going on, and welcome back to Bountiful Blessings Organic Farms. In this video, we're going to be going and planting our garlic that we harvested and grew last year. We're going to show you how we do that. We were supposed to go ahead and do this in the fall, so things would look pretty similar. Trees have lost their leaves. This is the springtime. It's about a 60-degree day. It is March 14th here in Sioux Falls, Zone 4B. And because we forgot to plant our garlic before the ground froze, we are going to go ahead and do it now as early as we can in the spring. So the ground just became workable over the last week. And my garlic, because I forgot to get it into the ground last fall, has been sitting in my wine cooler at 39 degrees Celsius. Hopefully it goes through the vernalization period, which is the period that the garlic needs in order to grow big bulbs. It is what happens when plants sit through the winter and are in the ground in the thermal protection of the earth, and it's where the plant is able to start the growing process as soon as possible. So my garlic has been in the wine cooler for the past, I want to say, 5 to 6 months now, and as you can see, my garlic is starting to grow new roots. So my garlic is ready to get in the ground. I should have done this in the fall, but like I said, we are running a little late. So we're going to go ahead and get all of this garlic. Each bundle is a different variety that we have grown here. They are all hardneck. We have Vietnamese purple, music, and then these two are just random garlic hardneck varieties that we picked up at the local farmers market and propagated. So we're going to go ahead and get all of our garlic here in the ground. As you can see, I've already got some lines marked out here, and if I flip for you guys, you can see over here I've already started my spacing. So I've poked some holes in the ground with my fancy dowel. It's just a broom handle, and I poked a hole about 2 to 3 inches deep, which you want your holes to be about twice the size of your garlic cloves. So as you can see, my garlic cloves are about that big. Poke my hole 3 inches deep, and then I drop the clove in there, and then I go ahead and cover it up, and that should be enough for the garlic to be planted and start growing here within the next couple weeks. We're also going to cover it up with some of our leaf litter and possibly wood chips for water retention. We'll see here as the time goes on, and I do believe I am thinking of adding in some dry amendment fertilizer to my garlic bed. This is going to be just the start. I do think I'm going to need to add a second bed over here. We will see as the day goes on. Then tuning into this part, really quick. As you can see, my hole spacing is 6 inches and staggered. What I mean by staggered is I have this hole here, and I have this hole here, this hole here, this hole here. So instead of doing here, 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 you stagger them. Then that means that this hole is going to go about 6 inches, about right here. Go ahead and give yourself a good 3-inch deep hole. And this allows you to add one more hole per row by staggering. Everything a good 6-inch spacing. And then each plant will have enough room to grow into its own luscious bulb of garlic in the future. Just continue getting your holes ready to go. I went ahead and I broke a little bit of my soil up with the pitchfork so that it was a little bit more workable and I wasn't dealing with hard ground. Now I only made the bed this wide because I want to be able to reach across and harvest my scapes come scape harvesting time, which will be, I want to say, middle of June and beginning of July, around that time period. Go ahead and finish this one row here. Then I'll show you guys how I take my cloves off of the bulb. See, left off right here. I've got garlic in those 2 holes, but not the rest. So I take my bulb here and I just give it a good little squeeze. I'm going to press it on my boot here since I only have one hand. Everything will break apart eventually, and as soon as you pop one clove out, the rest should be fairly easy. Alright, so you see we have our cloves of garlic. You see they all have new roots coming. You separate them all individually, and then you're just going to place it root side down into your hole. Push it as deep as you can into the hole. 1 garlic clove per hole. Make sure that you do not skip any of your holes, because you will not get a plant growing. Obviously. If that's not obvious, then I'm sorry to tell you that that's obvious to me. If you don't plant it, how will it grow? So I'm going to go ahead and just break up all of these cloves really quick. It's a little bit easier. You can just rip the base plate right out, just like that. And then all of these cloves should be sprouting their new roots right on the back side of the base plate here if it's a hardneck. I'm not quite sure how softneck varieties grow, to be honest with you. I've only been working with hardneck varieties because my climate and this little guy is already starting to get some leaves coming out of the tip. Make sure you plant all of them. If you don't plant it, it won't grow. If you don't plant it, it won't grow. Bountiful Blessings Organic Farms here, where we like to propagate as much of our own food as possible, grow our own seeds, and look out for the next generation, where we would like to build a family farm that provides to the people's needs when the people need. And the people will need. So here we have all of our garlic in these holes. So I'll show you what we do after we have the garlic in the hole. After we put the garlic in the hole, we're gonna go ahead and give her a little flattening out. Flatten her out, and then everything will need a little bit of water, and everything should be good. You just want to barely water it in. And garlic here is only going to need about 1/4 inch of water a week. So only going to water this 1/4 inch of water a week if it does not rain. If it does rain, we're not going to water this at all. This will be ready to harvest the scapes mid-June, beginning of July, and the garlic should be ready to harvest around the end of August, beginning of August, sometime in August. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue poking holes and planting garlic, and I will show you what it looks like when we're all finished. Thank you guys for tuning in to Bountiful Blessings Organic Farms. Catch you next time.